second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're hot as winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
First carry for Ryan Matthews. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
It's so important to establish the running game early in a contest because when you do that, that just opens your playbook so big for your offensive coordinator. And to be frank about it, they like calling pass plays better than they like calling running plays. And with the way that they're running it right now, that's going to open things up to do whatever they want through the air as this game goes on.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And a peek at the offense. And Matthews, a guy that we have to talk about.
And Jordan Matthews, Brandon, is an anomaly. Normally, a long receiver plays outside. He likes to work out of the slot. Does a terrific job absorbing punishment and catching the football.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Now Wentz on third down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a... And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Julius Peppers, some would call him the grand old man. He'd hate that. He just want to be a seasoned veteran who continues to make plays at a Pro Bowl level.
Second down following the run.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
From the gun on third down, Wentz looking for someone to throw to. And this is going to be incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And it's fourth down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline, somewhat happy.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a 5-time Pro Bowler. Out of Cal, it's Aaron Rodgers.
There's nothing like being overlooked that marries up with great talent that turns out a tremendous ball player, and I think Aaron Rodgers epitomizes that. Didn't get many looks coming out of high school, had to go to junior college, was sensational at Cal, and then bypassed in the early part of the first round, and now he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down.
319! 319! 319!
Rodgers, the tight end, in motion here. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Rodgers, the tight end, in motion here. The first carry now. This is Lacy. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Think back at Alabama. He was there. Ingram was there. Richardson all at the same time. Boy, they produced some backs, haven't they?
They do. They are run heavy, and backs are attracted to that. They know they're going to carry the football often, and they'll get plenty of help from those big people up front.
They stay on the ground on first down with Lacy. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he slipped right by him. 20, and now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out and out come the Eagles. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will. It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
he would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he cuts it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Eddie Lacy, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Here's Huff to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On On second down, Ryan Matthews. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
To throw is Wentz. Going up top. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dorial Green-Beckham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are back within a score.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run here. This is James Starks. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
The play clock's running down. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down. Rodgers, the tight end, in motion here. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Complete, Starks on the screen. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 14-10 the score. And we're back to Philadelphia after this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, Every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
There are so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Still 3rd down.
So they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. Goes underneath for Sproles. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. They go play action here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green Beckham, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Wentz now to throw. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
It's good, and it's 21-10. after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They begin the drive with Ryan Matthews. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Now Wentz, and able to complete it to Green Beckham. 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Now that's the type of fire up a defense, hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We've got a 3rd and 11.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Now a play fake here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Blake Martinez, the rookie from Stanford, in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process. Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little... Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Green Beckham has it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And the seemingly endless drive continues. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And that's complete to Huff. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Let's go. Green 39.
From the red zone now, Wentz. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Dorial Green Beckham. His second on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Now he's having a nice little first half for your partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them.
Lacy hit. He lost the football. It's out. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll come out in the pistol. Rodgers now on first down. So a major development here. Aaron Rodgers out. And coming in, a man who had great success in college at UCLA, Brett Hundley. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Caught by Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it third down and 10. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Throwing, Hundley. Finds his target, Montgomery. 7 yards on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Hundley. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Crosby puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Eagles trail at home at halftime. The Packers will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Packers here, they have it at the 47. Jackson's going to look for space, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Third down from the 28. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Packers defense gets off the field with the turnover. Offense on the field now after the INT. Lacey's looking for room to run, and he'd go in for the 20-yard touchdown. The lead now at 11. Now 3rd and 8. Green Beckham's able to get open here, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. This cuts the deficit to 4. Eagles with the ball early in the second. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Packers defense comes away with the turnover. Offense out now following the interception. Adams makes the grab in traffic. It ends up working for a touchdown. Packers go up by 11. Eagles line up at the 3. Wentz has got the completion from the gun. And after the short pass, he'll score. The Eagles trail now by 4. So that'll do it for us. We'll go back now to Philadelphia for the second half.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Now it's Janis. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here.
Your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first.
Jordy Nelson all by himself. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now Crosby for the point after. And the lead is up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, That usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Offside. Defense. Still first down.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And an alley to run. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
I absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 4.
Some draws, some quick hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Wentz. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
A handoff left. It's Ryan Matthews. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here we go now.
Play fake to Matthews. Now it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is taken in at the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, he took a shot downfield towards the end zone, and he came up with a big-time catch, but he was tackled a little bit short of the goal line. Now the defensive guys, they got to pick their heads up and try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Ryan Matthews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This game back within a... This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. But they have
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on third down, Wentz can't find anyone open. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Well, there's two sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Lacey. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Benny Logan in there on the tackle.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. The 13 yards that time at a first. And now they're in the hurry-up. They go play. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now back to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing, Hundley. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Sproles, the return. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles take possession. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And on the last drive, They were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down.
Let's get you now, Barney.
Now Wentz on third down. He's got time in the pocket. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, first and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Lacy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Hundley. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Slot man moves right. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Here we go. Let's round. Let's round. Let's round.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here now another look at the rookie Carson Wentz leading his offense back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
On first down, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Caught, it's Huff. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there that'll lead to a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Darren Sproles. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He's got time. And he connects with Ertz. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Ryan Matthews with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So the 2nd time tonight he has hit the end zone, Charles.
Some people just have a natural nose for the end zone, and he's exhibiting that here in this game. Big-time job, and of course he's got to pat the backs of the offensive line.
Yeah, they can't be lost in the shuffle. They're vital. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27th. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's go.
Throwing, Hundley. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Call it a pickup of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And quickly, they get to the line.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now starts. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They run again with Starks. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They come out here in the eye. This is Starks. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Hundley. Finding time. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. In motion right here, Nelson. Time running out here on the play clock. On play action, they'll throw. It's caught, Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he's brought down. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. They come out here in the eye. He'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Richard Rodgers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front.
And there's the go-ahead touchdown. And so likely we'll kick an extra point. But to me, I'm looking forward. Special teams now with your kickoff, and then your defense, that's where the pressure shifts.
Yeah, because there's plenty of time left on that clock. Anytime you're over a minute in the NFL, there's a chance. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. And that's complete to Huff. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. They'll look to throw, and he connects with Ertz. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Ertz over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Last week, as you get a look at some of the numbers, he just wasn't in the mix, almost like he was out of the game plan. We couldn't figure out why, but here, he's fully in the game plan.
I like what you just brought up, because when we asked the coaches about that, it was a little sheepish in there, wasn't it? That's when they admitted, yeah, we kind of neglected him last week. We've got to find ways to get him the football scheme to get him open, because they know he's a big-time weapon, so they're going to have people out there to cover him. But sometimes you just have to do some things, show some different formations, get him isolated where he can be one-on-one. And in this game, they're getting that done.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. And Huff reels it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here, because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
That's caught at the 3. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
Shift together here from the D-line. He's back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up, or do they go for 2 and try and win it right now?
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. On second down, Lacey. And he's brought down. So we saw a lot of points in quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And back out onto the field comes the Packers defense. Their secondary, their whole defensive unit really struggling. They've given up 3 touchdown passes. That last drive was dominant through the air against them.
They found something that was working for them on offense, and they just kept going to it, just kept throwing the football. So that means an entire overhaul on the defensive side. They need more pressure on the quarterback and obviously need tighter coverage on the receivers.
See if they can get that tighter coverage. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be a Philadelphia first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They run the counter now on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it online, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and that changes everything here in OT.
Not quite enough leg. This one was on target, but it needed a little more behind it. And by about the width of a football, this will stay a tie ball game.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Starts. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing, Hundley. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now Hundley. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And we put our attention now on the defense for the Packers. And they got the stop last time, or at least the missed field goal that they were able to force. And in this tie game, that's obviously critical at this juncture.
And it's become apparent that this game may come down to a foot. Someone's foot putting the ball through the post, and as you noted, kept them from doing it the last time out. Can they continue to do so? And hopefully then they can get their own offense cranked up and put the ball in the end zone.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's go!
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. We focus our attention now on the Eagles' defense. They were able to pick up a big fumble last time with the ball on their side of the field. See if they can try that once more.
I love the way they hung in there, though, because a lot of the time, all you're trying to do on defense is scramble and to hold your ground a little bit. They actually flipped things, didn't they? Took the ball away, created something for their own team.
And they'll be trying to create something for their team once more. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw here. Complete, starts on the screen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him. They tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It's caught. Nelson. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I've become a firm believer over the years that many drops happen before the ball's even snapped. When you call a wide receiver screen, as we saw there, I know these guys really well. They're thinking about that play going to the end zone, and sometimes they forget to catch the football first.
Caught by Nelson left side. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here we go. Flash round. Flash round.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing, Hundley. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff. Here's Lacey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
2nd down, 8. A run here for Starks. And he's brought down. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll go on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. Now Hundley. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now hang on here. Timeout called. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here in overtime, and we'll be back. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, They got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.